News in 5.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
This is World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. United Nations experts are urging United States authorities to halt the scheduled execution of a prisoner by nitrogen hypoxia, stressing the untested method may subject him to cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or even torture. According to the UN Human Rights Commission, 4 of their special rapporteurs have expressed concern over the imminent execution of Kenneth Eugene Smith, as the method that will be used in his execution has no scientific evidence to prove that it would not cause painful and humiliating death. Aside from Smith's execution, they also appeal to halt the execution of other prisoners that are scheduled to be executed in the same manner pending the review of the execution protocol. Convicted for murder for hire in 1988 and sentenced to life without parole, the 58-year-old Smith is scheduled to be executed in the U.S. state of Alabama on January 25 using a recently approved method that will deprive him of oxygen using a face mask connected to a cylinder of pure nitrogen gas. The said execution is the second attempt for Smith, as the lethal injection method used on him in November of 2022 failed. The UN experts warned that the new execution method, which will be experimental as it is the first one, will likely violate the prohibition on torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading punishment. They also noted that punishments that cause severe pain or suffering beyond harms inherent in lawful sanctions likely violate the Convention Against Torture, to which the United States is a party, and against a 1988 adopted resolution that guarantees that no detainee shall be subjected to medical or scientific experimentation which may be detrimental to the prisoner's health. There is no immediate comment from the U.S. government nor the state authorities in Alabama regarding the UN experts' statement regarding the said execution. Smith's attorney, who recently filed a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of the protocol, also declined to comment on the UN rapporteur's remarks.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
In our news overseas, extremist group Islamic State claimed responsibility for the deadly twin blasts in Iran's southeastern city of Kerman that killed nearly 100 people and wounded dozens on Wednesday. In a statement released on its affiliate Telegram channels, the militant group claimed that 2 of its members had detonated explosive belts in the crowd that had gathered at city's Martyrs Cemetery. The attack occurred during a memorial for Iranian Commander Qasem Soleimani, who was killed by a U.S. drone strike in 2020. Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi condemned the violence that he described as a heinous and inhuman crime, and the country's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei vowed harsh response against what he called cruel criminals. On the international front, several countries including Russia and Turkey condemned the bombings. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for those responsible to be held accountable. Speaking to reporters in Washington, White House spokesperson John Kirby said the United States extends its sympathies to the families of all innocent victims, adding Washington was in no position to doubt Islamic State's claim that it was responsible for the attack. On Wednesday, U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller distanced Washington from the violence, saying that suggestions pointing to U.S. involvement in the incident were ridiculous. Furthermore, there is no reason to believe that Israel, Iran's arch-enemy, was involved in the explosions, according to him. While Iran has faced similar bombings from militant groups, including the Islamic State, in the past, the severity of Wednesday's incident marks it as the deadliest in the country's history.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
For Philippine Embassy and Consular News, Philippines Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo Jose de Vega, together with Philippine Ambassador to South Korea, Teresa Dizon de Vega, recently met with South Korea's Assistant Minister for Gender Equality and Family, or MOGEP, Park Nam-suk to discuss the advancement and protection of multicultural families and Filipino-Korean youth living in the East Asian country. According to the Philippine Embassy in Seoul, Yusek De Vega during the meeting conveyed the importance of inclusivity in the formulation and implementation of long-term plans and policies that will promote the welfare and further empower the growing number of multicultural families and youth living and working in the Republic of Korea, including Filipino-Korean families and children. He likewise looked forward to enhance initiatives and support services for marriage migrants and their children for socioeconomic growth and academic development, given Korea's Leave No Family Behind policy. Highlighting the positive contributions of the Filipino migrant community in the Republic of Korea, the Undersecretary also conveyed that South Korea can look forward to new initiatives of the Philippines on sustainable migration, including programs that will encourage Filipinos to be active and engaged in their host country communities, especially through volunteer or civic work. For her part, Assistant Minister Park informed the Philippines of the South Korean government's plan for multicultural family policy from 2023 to 2027. The Assistant Minister also assured the Philippines of MOJEF's commitment to support Filipino-Korean youth and their academic development through bilingual education and other academic initiatives, reaffirming that the Philippines is an active and ready partner of South Korea in the advancement of marriage migrants and multicultural families. Ambassador Teresa Dizon de Vega conveyed that the Philippine Embassy in Seoul will continue to participate in roundtable policy discussions on family and the youth organized by MOJEF and empower the Filipino migrant community through existing programs and new initiatives in 2024.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.
You just heard World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is Peñano. Good day.
World News in 5.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes.
World News in 5.
Here on Radyo Pilipinas Worldwide.